One of the most common areas of focus I work on with my clients is communication skills. My name's Ruth Calabrese, and I'm a professional executive coach. And today we're going to talk about two key areas of communication skills. A major philosophical difference in the way you communicate has to do with whether you prefer to communicate with facts versus feelings. In other words, do you communicate with emotion or do you like to communicate with facts and data? For example, if you were trying to convey financial data to someone else, would you say, I feel like we're off to a great start this quarter? Or would you say, our sales are up by 7.2%? People who prefer to communicate with hard facts and data, also sometimes known as analytical communicators, want to speak to others who have the same inherent desire to understand the underlying information. They often enjoy having conversations that go very sequentially from point A to point B to point C. Colleagues who are high in analytical communication really want the underlying information, and they might get suspicious of those who will say things like, sales are really positive right now. The analytical communicator wants the underlying information. What does positive even mean? Give me the numbers. One big plus of this communication style is that analytical communicators can often be very logical and rational, even in times of crisis. You definitely want someone who is in command of their facts and figures if you're in front of a board of angry shareholders who want to know why you aren't making the numbers. The potential downside of the analytical style is that it can come across, particularly to those people who enjoy a very feelings, emotions type of communication, as being a little bit too cold or a little bit too logical. For those who prefer to communicate with feelings, we call these our personal communicators. People who prefer to communicate with emotions, also sometimes known as personal communicators, enjoy using emotions and connection to discover what people are really thinking. They find a lot of value in assessing how people both think and feel. They are wonderful listeners often. They can even be great diplomats. They often pick up vibes that other people might miss because they're very attuned to the emotional temperature in the room. The potential downside of the personal communication style is that you might be seen as a little too emotional, particularly from our friends who enjoy communicating primarily with facts. So now that you know that there are two different styles, both the personal and the analytical, both the emotions and the facts style of communication, how can you apply that knowledge in your daily life? First, see if you can identify which is your preferred method of communication. Are you a facts or a feelings person? Step 2 is to try to identify your counterpart's preferred communication method. Does it match yours or is it different? Step 3, modulate your delivery. If you are a feelings communicator, but you're speaking to somebody who you know loves the data, come to the discussion with data. Even if it doesn't feel overly comfortable for you to speak in that way, the chances are you're going to have a more effective conversation if you speak their language. Here's a classic example. Let's say you really want to go on a vacation with your friend. You're a feelings communicator. She's a data communicator. If you start off by saying, hey, let's go on a vacation. We'll feel so good afterwards. It'll be so relaxing. You might not get far. But if you tell your data-loving friend, hey, guess what? It's deeply discounted right now. We can both go for the price of one, and there's a direct flight. Giving her facts to think about will be far more likely to support your argument and get you both on the beach in time for cocktail hour. To learn more, check out my website at ruthcalabrese.com or stay tuned for more videos right here on my YouTube channel.